Hi, and welcome to week 5. This week we are building on week 4, the data decision-making process, which you can elect to use for your midterm action research project. What I'm going to be showing you today is the model that we use in CPS for data-driven decision-making. It is the NWEA process, a suite of tools that allow school leaders all the way from the superintendent to the teacher to collect, evaluate, and make decisions that will best support a student, a classroom, a school, and a school district's ability to improve scores and have students grow in their learning. So what we're going to start with is the map. The map is a terrific tool for teachers to use in assessing students' performance and learning. As you can see here on the screen, it's extremely easy to use and student-friendly. It is probably one of the least invasive and difficult assessment tools to deploy and easiest for students to navigate. So you can see here some of the great features. Let's take a look at a summary of them. What I like about MAP is that it allows the school leaders to look at individual data where the students may be on, above, or below the standards that are required. And as you'll see, we will be able to cross-reference students with class, school, and district results. One thing that I think is important here is that you can use this individualized data, and as it rolls up, you'll be able to see how one class stacks up against another class within the building, and how the building, your building, if, assuming you're going to become principal, may compare to other schools or other buildings either within the district or in neighboring districts within the state. So let's take a look at the broad overview of the data, and this matrix that I'm gonna show you here briefly is the matrix or the dashboard or data overview that is intended to be discussed in the case study you have for this week. With regard to the data overview, or what I've been continually referring to this term as the data dashboard, this graph that you see in front of you with the 4 quadrants represents that dashboard, or that one look summary. Each of the individual dots that you see represented here are individual students. When you scroll over each individual student with your mouse, this software will allow you to see what the students' scores are individually. And then what you see is you see the students individually plotted on this quadrant, this 4 quadrant. And the idea here is we want to see students grow and improve. So if you notice that the upper right-hand quadrant is green, so that is the target goal, is to get as many of the students up into the green area. And what that means is that we have the opportunity then to look at the student's progress on an individual basis and see how it relates to the others. So what we have is we have the 4 quadrants, which the red is low achievement, low growth. The yellow on the bottom right is high achievement, low growth. The upper left level is the low achievement, high growth, and then the upper right corner is the high achievement, high growth. And the idea is that we really want to move students up and to the right, because we're not as much concerned about achievement as we are growth. So we want more growth, which means moving up, and we want more achievement, which means moving to the right. So let's see what comes up next. Now, with our next tool, you could see that when we had each student data point plotted on the 4-quadrant matrix, each student's individual data can then be viewed by clicking on that button and that dot that is on that matrix. And that brings up the what you see here is the student profile report. This one, for instance, is in mathematics. And the student profile report allows you to individually look at student growth and to see visually where the changes are represented. I like this because it's a longitudinal tool that allows you to see how well the individual student is doing over a period of time, and you should be able to see a difference in outcomes for a term after you have used the previous term's data to make a decision to, for instance, put in some supports. So next, what we want to do is we want to start rolling up and aggregating the data a little bit. So let's see what that looks like. As we're moving the aggregating the data, and we are exploding or expanding the view from the individual student to the class or a group, we can start using the data to be able to make decisions about how students may be grouped for differentiated instruction, how they might, how centers might be most utilized within the classroom, how aids or other supports might be allocated to support individuals or groups. You know, it is an opportunity for you to be able to make data-driven decisions about the use of your specialists and how they may be able to best leverage their skills in order to diagnose and put supports in place to improve student strengths and improve opportunity for both achievement and growth. So let's go on and see what the next tool looks like. Next, we can use the MAP Learning Continuum as a tool to be able to assess the learning statements via the interactive MAP Continuum. This is where you will be able to read the interpretations of the scores, which are set out as RITs, and those are RASH units, and they're an individualized specific score that is represented within the continuum in order to attempt to determine what level of challenge is appropriate in order to improve learning outcomes. Meaning, if you can imagine that dashboard, that data dashboard with the 4 quadrants, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can assess every individual dot on that board and try to put supports in place and be able to know when students are ready for the next challenge so that they will move up and to the right on that grid. That's our goal, is up and to the right. That's maximum achievement with maximum growth. And so using our iterative process, then we can look at student data, and we can use that student data to attempt to supply and challenge the student with a instruction that is going to show continued growth and will allow us to aggregate that and show that what we're doing in the building level, what we're doing in the class level, what we're doing on the student level is an effective allocation of resources and an effective use of our time. So let's roll that up to the next level and see how we might be justifying that efficient and effective use of resources. Next, you're looking here at the map data reports to evaluate programs and monitor student performance. So this along goes with your data dashboard, meaning all these reports, each one of these individual level reports in terms of, sorry about that, I'm getting close to having to go pick up my son, but I'm almost done with the presentation. Each one of these reports are going to represent a section on your bulletin board where you will post the 4-quadrant growth chart. You'll post the individual scores. You'll post the classroom scores. You'll post the programs, and you will have the opportunity to compare progress across classrooms, across grade levels, and superintendents, future superintendents, you'll be able to compare progress across schools. Very informative tool. Let's see what, as we roll things up, let's see what's next. Now, as I said at the beginning, when you look at the 4 quadrants, our goal is to obtain high growth, high achievement. Growth is more important than achievement. So what we want to know is if students are reaching their projected growth targets. And what we use the individual screen that we saw earlier to set the targets and challenge the targets, and then this is the benchmarking that we want to use to see if they're hitting those or not. And last, on the individual level, we are using this view to look at projected proficiency. So this will tell us how the interventions may or may not work, and allow us to make some assumptions about college readiness. So I hope this gives you a good view of a tool that you can use to assess and reassess with the editor